The Utah Jazz were kept at bay tonight. Oh, yeah. Dad joke to start it off by Sadiq Bey. I mean, kind of original, kind of good this late at night. Don't I get some credit for that?
Yeah. Is that BAY or BEY?
Well, it's BEY in this time, but regularly it'd be BAY, I think. I don't know. But
whatever the case.
Yeah. Sadiq Bey drops 42 and defeats the Utah Jazz. By the way, maybe the big story actually we should lead with, Ron. Lauri Markkanen out with hip impingement, will be reevaluated in 2 weeks, which is when we come back from the New York game. But that's reevaluated, so that could be, we go to 1-16 tonight or 1-15 tonight without Lauri. It is hard for this team to play without Lauri Markkanen.
Well, I think the Jazz have only won one game when he hasn't played. So that's awfully, you're right, awfully difficult to win without him on the floor. And evaluated in 2 weeks, it takes you into about mid-March, and boy, just makes you wonder.
Yeah. This one's getting away from the Jazz. I don't think there's a lot of W's to come. Developmental opportunities for a lot of guys in big moments, but they're hard developmental opportunities because they don't have anyone on the floor to release them from the burden of every possession, every moment. I think we saw a lot of that tonight. We'll talk about it coming up. The big one tonight, though, was Sadiq Bey. He had 14 fourth-quarter points. He had 42 points tonight. He only took 20 shots. They got him the ball mid-block left, and he beat Bryce and Cody and every other wing defender we possibly had. What's your thoughts on what they did with him and the Jazz inability to defend it?
Just a smart coaching job. They put him in a position where he could either have a good night or fail. And we talked about how he took those guys to the basket, but he also knocked down three-point shots. He had a complete basketball game. I don't know if the Jazz went at him at all tonight. I can't remember, but I know they wanted to go at Zion, and in the meantime, Bey has one heck of a night.
He's had a 50-point night when he played with Detroit. He was originally drafted out of Villanova, played for the Pistons, and I think moved to Atlanta. Then had some injuries, tore an ACL, I think, if I remember correctly, and now back and has become kind of a player for New Orleans. New Orleans acquired him in the offseason, kind of a surprising fashion, one of the many moves that Joe Dumars made that made no sense.
A lot of times when guys score that big and that many points, they have one quarter or a half where they just explode, and then the rest of the ball game, you're just mediocre. But he scored in every quarter.
Right.
I mean, he had big numbers in every quarter.
So without Lauri Markkanen, which we have just talked about, will be now for it. I'm going to put it to 3 to 4 weeks. Just by the time even if every evaluation is good in 2 weeks, then you have a reconditioning that takes a little while, and you're certainly with our record at this point, you're not going to risk bringing him back, rushing him back in any way, shape, or form. But it did mean that we saw the offense center around Ace Bailey to start the night. What did you see from Ace in those 16 first quarter points? He does only end with 23. He looked exhausted for much of the night after that, frankly. He was every time out, had his hands on his shorts, and was kind of holding on for dear life. But what did you see in the 16-point first quarter and how the Jazz used him?
The 16 points in the first quarter?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. That's very offensive-minded. I expected that he was going to be very offensive-minded in the basketball game, period. But everything was jumpers. I think he may have gone to the hole maybe once or something like that. But he's talented, skills, jumps quick, still has a lot to learn. So you're putting him in a position now, David, where you have every chance in the world to get better.
So I asked Will Hardy about his lack of free throws because we've brought it up on the show a few times pregame. He was interesting. He said that he's so talented athletically that he right now is playing over the top rather than through players, and eventually he's going to have to learn how to play through players. That right now his move is he comes and he elevates over you, or he puts a shoulder in you for contact, creates the space, and then elevates over after he's kind of put a little shoulder in you to put you off balance. Those are effective moves, but what are the next steps? I don't know if we'll see them in the final 20 some odd games of the season here, but what are the next steps for Ace offensively? Obviously, I brought it up in regards to free throw shooting.
I like his selection of shots, especially jump shots. I didn't think I saw a real bad shot taken by him all night long, but as far as driving to the basket, that's going to have to improve some to the point. And as you mentioned, you don't have to jump over guys all the time in order to score. You can. It will means going through guys, meaning you going through contact and trying to finish that way. And that way, even if you don't score, you might get fouled. And that means you get more than what do they have? Three free throws tonight, and that's, if you're going to be a shooting guard or shooting forward or whatever like that, and have that complete game, you got to get to the free throw line. A lot more than that, as Keontae has done, from 1 year to the next.
Yeah, if you're going to be great, you're going to have to do it from seven or 8, 9 times a night.
Right.
Will Hardy said he needs to start learning how to play through people instead of around them. What did he mean by that?
Well, as we just mentioned, he's trying to play around guys who don't want to jump rather than going through them. You mentioned going over the top. You just got to be able to withstand the contact and realize how to create contact and maybe even score, after that. Will's putting a little bit different than what I would put. I mean, I like the contact and then shoot. I like you drawing the contact. I love the idea of guy drawing contact and then he has full control over how he can finish rather than you driving to the basket and I foul you, throwing you offline. Now you got to make a spectacular shot.
All right, we'll talk about the performances as we will each and every night of Cody, Kyle, and Isaiah. They're very much embraced. They're very much under the spotlight right now of what they're capable of doing in this circumstance. Tough time for them to be critiqued, but we'll talk about them next as the Jazz fall to the Pelicans. Today's show is brought to you in part by our friends over at Indeed, and Indeed sponsored jobs. Right now is the time. If you're looking with deadlines stacking up, your inbox overflowing in one position you have to fill, still sitting open when the pressure's on, and you need the right hire, this is what sponsored jobs from Indeed are there for. They help you reach people who actually fit what you're looking for, skills, expenses, location. So you're not just hoping the right candidate stumbles across your post. You're here to make sure that Indeed sponsored jobs gets you what you want. So if you're hiring, spend less time searching, more time interviewing candidates. Check out all the boxes with Indeed sponsored jobs. Spend less time searching, more time interviewing. Right now, we're going to give you $75 off a sponsored job credit to help you get your job the premium status it deserves at Indeed.com/podcast. Just go to Indeed.com/podcast right now and support our show by saying you heard about Indeed on the podcast. Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply. Need to hire? There is a job for Indeed sponsored jobs. Today's show is also brought to you by our friends over at 5 Hour Energy. It's time for the 5 Hour Energy Flavor Draft. That's right, 5 Hour Energy Flavor Draft coming your direction this year. And what is the 5 Hour Flavor Draft? Is it watermelon? Which are your favorite flavors? Which do you like the most? Well, you get to choose in the 5 Hour Energy Draft. 18 different flavors to choose from, including new options like Confetti Craze, Fruity Rainbow, or Cotton Candy. There's something for everyone. The board is set. The flavors are ready. The number one pick is there. Are you jumping for Fruity Rainbow with bright blend of assorted fruit candy flavors, cherry, the bold cherry candy style flavor, or grape with a Concord grape flavor, similar to grape juice or candy, soft roundness and sweetness? They're all there for you. 5 Hour Energy shot gives you a boost with zero sugar. 5 Hour Energy has a lot of upcoming flavor innovations planned. Go for whatever you want. I want mint mojito. I've told you that before. Find new flavor at 5 Hour Energy shots, available online at 5hourenergy.com. And today's show is also brought to you in part by our friends over at Game Time. Game Time is a great way for you to go find your tickets. It's exactly what I did so I could come see a concert here the other night. I went to go see Head and the Heart before they opened for Brandy Carlisle. And how'd I do it? I did it with Game Time. Got great ticket prices. Dropped right as the show was about to start and nailed it. It was easy as simple as just got in there, all in front, pricing up front. Got a view from my seat. Knew exactly where I was going to be. Clicked it. Got an email. Had the seats within minutes. It was all there for you at Game Time. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use the code LOCKEDONNBA for $20 off your first purchase. That's code LOCKEDONNBA for $20 off your first purchase. Game Time app today. Remember, GameTime.co, not GameTime.com. That's GameTime.co, not GameTime.co. All right, Ron, we're looking at these guys every night because, frankly, that's what is important about these games. Isaiah Collier, Ace, Cody Williams, Kyle Filipowski, and Bryce Sensabaugh. The eye opener tonight, fourth quarter, Kyle Filipowski does not play. Isaiah Collier basically does not play tonight. Elijah Harkless played 11 minutes of the fourth quarter tonight, 10 minutes and 30 seconds of the fourth quarter, and Elijah and Isaiah Collier played 1 minute. Kyle Filipowski got taken out about 4 minutes into the second half and didn't play. So coming off a not great night in Houston, I don't think this was another great night for either of those two guys.
Yeah, it really wasn't. And you could just see that Will was going with some hard-nosed defense out there on the floor. And it kind of worked. I mean, the thing started to they outscored the Pelicans 30-26. Well, they outscored them in the second half for the most part. 57-51, somewhere in there. But it was a decision, I think, based on defense more so than what they offense.
Cody has some highlight plays tonight, sacrificed his body, got up there, made some plays. On the other end, like, I'm not trying to be critical, but like, he played 8 minutes and 30 seconds in the fourth quarter. He did not take a shot. I do not think he had a rebound. I do not think he had an assist. If he had one, he had a rebound late. Like, he literally played 8 minutes and 30 seconds and didn't do anything on the scoreboard, box score.
And I know that, we can where his value is going to be with this team and how long is it going to take him to get to that next level. Now, right now, he seems to be more active. He's moving well without the basketball. He had a couple of great back cuts anyway, because of a player overplaying him or something like that. But I just want to see him get better. It looks like he has a lot of talent. I know you talked about that, but he still needs to add more to his game.
The flashes right now are awesome. The dunk was incredible. The burst on the blow by, but you're right. There has to be a completeness to the game rather than just these flashes. I mean, the flashes are a start. I mean, there once was a coach who told me, like, okay, I need a guy to dominate a play. Then I need him to dominate a sequence. Then I need him to dominate a quarter. And then I need him to dominate a half. And then I got to, like, I don't think we're actually asking Cody to dominate, but I think we'd like to see Cody he makes impactful plays. Can he impact? Remember, there was a sequence once this year defensively where we had like 3 or 4 great defensive plays in a row. Like, can you impact sequences? Can you impact a quarter? Can you impact half? You don't have to be dominate. We're not asking any of these guys to dominate. That's not who they are. But can you impact lengthy periods of time on a basketball floor is what we're looking for out of him.
Yeah, absolutely. And I couldn't agree with you more. That's exactly right. And he just seems to be just a little bit behind, some of the other players.
All right. What were your thoughts on Zion tonight?
Zion was effective.
You're just not a Zion believer at all, are you? I love this. No, I love this. I'm not trying to because I kind of love the fact that you're willing to say, like, this doesn't work for me. Like, there are players out there who work for fans or analysts or coaches. Like, this guy his game doesn't work for you, does it?
It does, but it has my brain going 90 miles an hour and like, what does he do? He scores and he scores in the paint, and he does not he does not have that all-around game.
No, he does not.
So he's very good at what limited offensive game that he does have.
So this is interesting.
You agree with that?
Yeah,
but his defense is
not good.
Not good.
Here's a player that doesn't work for me. It's Paolo Banchero.
Okay.
Maybe there's something similar in the two of us that, like, my problem with Banchero is he makes these power plays, but he can't shoot, and he makes these power plays, and it doesn't feel like he ever does anything to make his teammates better.
I agree with that.
And so maybe a little bit of what you're saying about Zion is the same thing. Is that you're not seeing him?
Maybe you can tell me real quick.
Yeah.
How many rebounds does he average a game?
5.
5 rebounds. He played 30-some minutes tonight. He got 4 rebounds. Mm-hmm. Is that acceptable?
Maybe not. Yeah, I hear you.
Okay.
They traded a first-round unprotected pick for Derek Queen, by the way.
Yeah.
Just thought I'd share that. Have a great night, everybody.